Is this thing on? Alright, it's on. So, hi everybody. I came today because I was going to do an interview with my brother, but Jimmy boy, he's got some jealousy problems because of my profession, so he doesn't always stick around for things he commits to. He says it's because I annoy him, but I know it's really because he's jealous. He's jealous that I get to do all the things that he wanted to do, like live at the North Pole and give out stuff. So here I am. He told me to just go ahead and do a vlog. So here's a vlog. I'm sitting up here in his room. I just finished picking my toenails to get all that winter snow and mold and stuff out. And now I'm here to answer all of your questions. And he did give me a list of questions, but he gave me a few ideas of what you guys want to know about Santa Claus. First of all, I'm in California, just so you know. So if you want to come and give me gifts and things for getting on the nice list, you could totally do it. I cannot change the list at this point, but I would love taking your stuff, so feel free to bring it all by. Now anyway, Santa Claus. That's who I am. That's what I do. It's a thing more than a person. I would like to say that first of all. Now for you kids, if you're under the age of, is it 13? Is 13 the age when we tell the truth to our children? But if you're under 13 and you don't know the truth about Santa Claus, turn this off. You deserve to have a few more good years. Now if you're over the age of 13, here are some secrets you need to know. 1. Who is Santa Claus? I'm Santa Claus. I'm the great almighty Kris Kringle, who works 360 days out of the year and then flies around and makes everything get to your house the last 5. And it's really only one night, but I say it's 5 because sometimes there's a layover and jet lag and things. I forgot the question I just answered, but who is Santa Claus? I'm Santa Claus. My actual name is Kris Kringle, and that's a lot like James Bond, because James Bond, you've seen the movies, and there's different James Bonds, and people say, well, that's the same character. It is not the same character. 007 James Bond is a code name for the agent. The agent has his own name. I think Will Smith was a James Bond once, I think, but I can't be sure. But anyway, I'm Kris Kringle. I have an actual name, but as soon as I put on the coat and the hat, I became Kris Kringle. Now, my brother told me one of the biggest questions that people have is, how did you become Santa Claus? Now, there's 2 things about that, because there's actually an instant reply and a yearly change that makes me Santa Claus. First of which, you can tell there's no long white beard. Santa Claus has a long white beard, you say. Yes, he does. And you may say, well, he's not as fat as I would have expected. That's also true. So the first answer is, I become Santa Claus every year around Christmas time. The rest of the year, I look just like my brother. I look just like his twin, because that's what I am. I'm his twin. And then, right around Christmas time, December, all of that changes. So I just shaved, so all my new beard can come in, and I will become Santa Claus. Okay, that's how that happens. If you ever go watch, this is really the best example, go watch Tim Allen's Santa Claus, because he explains all this. And then, of course, just like in the movie, which you need to watch, I grow a belly right around Christmas time, and that's when I become Santa Claus. The rest of the year, I'm Kris Kringle. That's my go-to name the rest of the year. So, when I go to the bar, hey, what's up, Chris? When I go to visit the elves, hey, what's up, Kringle? You know, that's how it works. You know, that's what I do. So Santa Claus is for December, Kris Kringle's for the rest of the year. That's how I become Santa Claus every year. Now, you may be wondering, what about Santa Claus in general? How do you become Santa Claus in the first place? Well, go back. Tim Allen explained it best. There's a guy who has a coat, and when you put that coat on, you become Santa Claus. Now me, I won't go in detail on how I became Santa Claus because I could be arrested. But suffice it to say, I acquired the magic coat a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, and that's how I became Santa Claus. Because once you put the coat on and you read the business card, you automatically get the powers and gifts and choices of Santa Claus. Now, the only thing I would disagree with is Tim Allen ruined the third movie, because just because you have the coat does not make you Santa Claus necessarily. Because if you start doing things that destroy Christmas, like, what's his name, Jack Frost did, you automatically, well, let's just say you aren't going to be Santa Claus anymore. And that's kind of a painful thing to talk about just because I had a cousin who did that one year and it just didn't turn out very well. Anyway, that's the question of how I become Santa Claus. How I have become Santa Claus. How I am Santa Claus. Now, some people are always like, well, how come in the last few years presents haven't come to all the poor kids? And how come some countries don't have Santa Claus? And there's a good answer for that. Budget cuts. They're having a lot of budget cuts due to overspending in the North Pole. And so we do still send out a gift to everyone, but mostly just, yes, I don't get everybody. I don't get everybody every year. I'm sorry. I miss some people. I try and change it up from year to year, and there's no, like, specific, like, this is how I pick. It's just like, if there's a chimney and it's convenient, I drop it down. And if I run out of presents, I'm sorry. I run out of presents. For the record, I do start in America. So if you want presents for Christmas, the best chance is to start in America and southern Canada. Just to let you know. So, fair warning. But, yeah, that's why not everybody gets presents. Although I do send Christmas cheer. I do always send Christmas cheer. Everybody says I don't send presents to everyone. I always send Christmas cheer. Because everybody needs some Christmas cheer and Christmas spirit. Now, whether or not they accept that is up to them. People get so distracted by the trees and the lights and the presents that they forget that there's more important things. Some people need an attitude check. Some people need a reward for their hard work. Some people need something to see, and that does also affect my delivery method, by the way. But those are the people who get Christmas cheer because that's what they need. Now, if they choose to just then they don't get any. That's just the way it works. Okay. So that's why, and that's what I do to resolve that situation. There's no white supremacy or discrimination against Islams with Santa. Santa doesn't do that. I just bring people what they need and go by what I have, and that's the best I can do. And I apologize if you need a present. Write me a letter, and I'll do the best I can. But don't expect it, because then you won't get what you want. There's an attitude that needs to come with it. It's an attitude of gratitude. Okay? Alright. So that's the second question, sort of. Long explanation. Now for the last question, because he said I'm not supposed to go over 10 minutes, but I'm pretty sure I will, because I'm terrible at budgeting, which is probably why we're having budget cuts. But, last question. Why am I in California with my brother? That's actually my question. So if you could answer that, please leave a comment or send me a message on Facebook or through email to my brother's information, and he'll forward it to me, because I don't know why I'm down here. It's so hot. It's so hot down here. And everybody is like, oh, you're not really Santa Claus. And I'm like, hey, I got the hat. I'm Santa Claus. If you don't like it, the naughty list for you. And for those of you wondering, Santa does go on the nice naughty list. So if you're not sure which list I'm on, my brother's going to tell you about that on Sunday, because that's when his next video is coming. So thank you all for coming for an interview vlog with the real Santa Claus. Thank you, Jimmy boy. Thank you, all of you. And thank you, one and all. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas and all that. It may be just November, but we're planning ahead, and my vacation's ending. So we'll see you Christmas Eve. Vlog over?